Blitz versus Frequency. How you feel about the battle?
Um, it was a cool battle. It was pretty much what I expected from my opposition side, but it was a cool battle. You know what I'm saying? I definitely wish I could have because I'm big on accountability. I wish I could have gotten out more of my verses than what I did. In certain instances, first I think I've had like a little first round. I think I stumbled on a word or something and that just threw everything off, or I just couldn't think of the next line, which that'll fuck you if you're trying to find the next line in your head while you perform, and then at that point you can't find it, you're fucked. Then, second round came around, and then we did way better. Came out, I think, about at least three-fourths of that round. You know what I'm saying? Really said some good shit out there. Then third round came around, same ordeal. That one was the really big one for me because of the wrestling montage of that, like that little scheme I did right there. Um, for me personally, I don't. People that follow Blitz have seen Blitz battles before. Um, Not when I'm freestyling, haha. But like my actual battles, like when I'm written locked in or whatever. I don't. I scheme sometimes, but I never really like dumpster dive into my wrestling bag. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that was really me showing my personality. Like, oh shit, like he watches wrestling, and not only that, I watch wrestling the way that I can morph that shit into a whole entire scheme that makes actually makes sense. Even if you don't watch wrestling, the relevance and substance of the message that I'm saying, I'll be like, oh, okay, I understand what the fuck he's saying. You know what I'm saying? Whether I understand who the some of the old school wrestler references or the new school wrestler. You know what I'm saying? Like I understand where he's coming from with all this shit. So that was my bigger one of my favorite rounds that I wish I could have got together better. You know what I mean? But hey, it's just consequences of not staying ready. I want to say because I was locked and loaded, got comfortable, got hot in the motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Watched performances, got chilling, and I took the eye off the prize to make sure I fully fulfilled what I was trying to do. Because everybody from him to everybody else, it was like, oh, Blitz freestyles and this that, and third, woo woo. So I'm like, okay, cool. Let me show you what it is. You know what I'm saying? So, that was I dropped the ball in that instance, you know what I'm saying? But it's a lesson, not a loss. So we only can get better than what we was previously.
Copy, copy. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's a fact. That's a fact. So would you say, because a lot of people, I mean, they're not gonna know this. I mean, they know it now since I've talked to your opponent recently earlier this week. We did a little recap talking about the event and the battle. Same thing we doing right here, right now. In that interview we brought up the timing thing because he also kind of said, I believe, that he think that that kind of threw him off a little bit more. He wished that maybe we would have, maybe had more, did more time, but because we did the whole 90-second thing, like I illustrated on the blog. I mean, with the recap with him, is we did this because he had a little tight schedule. He just battled yesterday, and that was like 2 weeks ago. We just battled, and then he had another one. So shout out to Frequency, for putting this in his schedule so we can get this battle done. But it was only going to be done if the 90-second rounds was accumulated.
Right.
So, and over here we don't do 90-second rounds. It's definitely 2 minutes or higher and everything like that.
Yeah.
So I will say,
Yeah.
but I mean, I'm thankful. That's not to say this or that. Shout out to both of y'all. For getting in there. And performing for the audience. But does the 90 seconds you believe maybe had anything to do with it? Like, is it
Honestly,
too short or?
I don't feel like the time played a part.
Mhm.
Um, I mean, like Frequency technically said, in the face off, you know what I mean? When I was like, hey man, I wish we had no, fuck that clock. I'd say to myself, right? Wish we had longer rounds because it's 90 seconds.
Mhm.
And he told me, your name Blitz, you should be able to get there in time. I was like, you sure right. So for me, the 90 seconds really didn't do too much of effect because you got to write for the 90 seconds. You know what I'm saying? So, I time my rounds and everything like that. So the 90 second, like as far as like having a complete round in 90 seconds and it not sounding like, we just cutting it off right here type shit, which that's what it's, ended up kind of sounding like in the fucking at that night. You know what I'm saying? So I don't really feel like the time that we was presented per round was an issue for me. You know what I'm saying? It might have just been if I was anything, maybe just the wait time because I guess to go right after the performances. You know what I'm saying? Which I get we was the main event. You know what I mean? Which I feel that's why I'm more so taking accountability versus making excuses for anything.
Mm-hmm.
Because regardless of if it's fucking 6 p.m. or 6 a.m., you know what I'm saying? Like opening of the main event, you got to be ready. So you know what I mean. That's so it's I don't really see any excuses really. I mean,
Yeah,
you know what I
copy,
mean?
copy. I hear that. Now, yeah, and in our, and on our side too, I'm gonna definitely shape that up with the music performances and the battle rap and everything like that because we definitely went over time. But shout out to Mexicana for allowing us, to still, do what to do up in there. You
Oh
know,
yeah, that's family. That's
oh
family
yeah,
right there.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. That was dope. But okay, so yeah, all right. So I mean, that's how I feel because I think, because I mean, you spoke on a little bit. You speak about the first round, and I think I know exactly what you said. You had something in your head, but I guess you couldn't get it out. So like you ended the round or whatever. To be honest, I mean, just I trying to remember it from the day. I mean, from being there that night. When that happened, it looked semi awkward, but it didn't look awkward. You know what I'm saying? I think when you see it, you'll see, what
Yeah,
see what I mean? Because Frequency brought it up too, but I mean, he said, because I mean, well, my second question would to you, just like I asked him, how do you call it? He was saying he was saying, he really can't call it. He was saying it to himself. It's probably maybe like a 2-1. He feels, first round probably he got, second round he feels you probably got, and it really comes down to the third type of shit in that scenario. Because I will say, I mean, yeah, the first round, like I said, was because you started it off. Uh, maybe it felt like it was short, but it probably feels like it was short because we so used to doing 2 minutes, and we definitely go a little bit over, and
yeah,
definitely were with the 90 second, at least for the first round. But then also too, after he went in the first round, you matched, you started matching the intensity, and you got a little bit more aggressive, and then you don't like yeah, that second and third round, it was like, yeah, you can't tell the difference between the time difference. Um,
yeah. That part. Yeah, because
yeah, had
like
a
my
little
first.
people in the crowd too, a little bit, not
Yeah,
hecklers, but people were kind of talking. They were kind of excited. This is something they ain't never seen before. Because I was listening to
yeah,
them,
but
and they were all like,
that was like that's the other thing too, because like I've been doing this for a while, so like I'm used to the crowd cheers, but like and like but I learned something too. So like I try to give a free game if I can. So like comedians, they get addicted to like that one laugh they hear in the crowd, right? For battle rappers, we hear that one, like you know what I'm saying, and it's like I learned it's like it's what you do. It's like what you do with it. Like, and then in that moment, I really didn't know what to do with it because first off, I'm low key coming down from like 17 strings. Okay, let's just that's my only. Okay, I got you. So that was that. So like just so I'm hearing this random like so I had somebody going back there. I don't know who the fuck had them going from first round. So I kept hearing them. So it was kind of like so I gave him attention, watch the Blitz, stick it down there. And I go back to it. Then I heard it again. It just kind of like threw me off again. I was like, what the fuck am I? What's like, I should be used to this. You know what I'm saying? Like just, and then like when I guess I don't even know I was so much in my fucking bubble, bro. I'm pretty sure the crowd was reacting and I could have stopped, gathered myself and all that. I didn't stop in certain moments. You know what I'm saying? Like I heard the crowd after, which was weird as fuck, right?
yeah, yeah,
Like a delayed laugh track, like type shit. Like you know what I'm saying? So
yeah. No,
I'm
the
feeling like
crowd was
they're not
they was
reacting. So I'm
into
like,
it.
cool, let me keep going.
Yeah.
You
No,
know
yeah,
what I
yeah.
mean?
The crowd was into it because like I could hear like it's like they were talking through people rounds, but it wasn't they were heckling and they weren't interested. They were like I was listening to them. They were like, "Yo, did you hear what he said? Oh, he said this about his blah blah blah." Like they were like really so like,
Yeah,
"Oh
you
my
know what
God,"
I'm
you know?
saying? And then like it's so small, so like you can low key like you can hear like the bass tones of everybody type shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's like motherfuckers is mumbling like type shit, but you can't hear what they saying. So like you know what I'm saying? But just drown that shit out. You know what I'm saying? But it
How you
was
call it then?
um Probably the same thing, man. 2-1. I would give him the first round. Because I even told him, like, if it's in the footage, like I told him, I was like, you got you a free one. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because the second one came around. I ain't gonna lie, Mario. I want to hit that nigga with some rebuttals. I wanted to hit him with some rebuttal. I was like, no, let me stay away from the freestyle shit altogether, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna just stay away from it, right? So this just to show him, right? Like I don't need to get my freestyle bag as bad as I can just pop 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 pop. I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm gonna show you how I get down because if anybody should know, should be a former teammate,
Mm-hmm.
which that was all his material was. I feel like it was, just kind of telling me like what I wasn't
Mm-hmm.
as a teammate. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, okay, all right, whatever. So for saying that for like 3 rounds, it's kind of like, and then I like, and I'm like, I'm purposely giving you like that second round. If you notice, I was rhyming off the same rhyme pattern the whole time. I never deviated.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So for me to punch the way I was punching off that alone, I feel like they gave me that round
Yeah.
versus what I was hearing. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, it's up to the people. Consensus. Third round, the wrestling scheme versus what I was hearing. You know what I'm saying? So 2-1 either way. But bro did say rematch. You know what I'm saying? We should make no sometime in the future. Maybe we should run a rematch back. And I feel like you know what that probably actually would be dope because I thought about thinking about that the other day. I'm like hey, Blitz versus Frequency 2. They do the
Mm.
shit in boxing. Why we can't do it in battle rap and be fine
Hey,
with the shit? You know what I'm
hey,
saying?
I'm not opposed to it. I do, you know what I'm saying? I do have a little event in that type of a category that I've been thinking about doing. You
You
know
know
what
what
I'm
I'm
saying?
saying?
A little night of
So
some
that probably just a
rematches.
little
So
thumb off to the side, bring that back. You know what I mean?
oh no,
And we
yeah, for
can,
sure, for sure, for sure, for sure. So
yeah.
real quick, because we got a little bit like 7 minutes real quick. So we ask a couple a little bit more questions and we can make them short and simple. So in your battle with frequency, you guys do have a past, as in you guys used to be in a group, team members and everything like that. That's no longer Rolling Stones is its own little kind of entity, still kind of just now frequency and AU. You no longer part of the group. A lot of people are no longer part of the group. Do you feel like maybe that you should have went more personal in this battle with him, or you was cool with what you got off?
I feel like to go personal is to one or two things. Get the docs on a nigga, or you actually know somebody personally like that. I met Frequency through AU, and me and AU. If let's just say hypothetically, me and AU never battled, and then somehow or another we battled, that'd be more so of a personal battle. But because that's the homie, we probably wouldn't do that battle for real unless he just me and him came to like some kind of like, you know what I'm saying, agreement, you know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
that's me and AU is way more closer than me and Frequency is, you know what I'm saying? Whether
Mhm.
regardless of us being in the same city, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I really couldn't go personal with him. So I was like, okay, cool, which I like, right? I'd rather showcase my skill than try to like do some freaky expose about frequency. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't know you like that, bro.
Yeah.
It's stuff I could have said, but I mean,
Got you.
I'm
Yeah.
not gonna
Got you. Got you.
waste on that. Like, you feel what I'm saying? So it's like that's why I was like the material that he came with. I was just kind of like talking about him a bad teammate for 2.5 rounds is insane. I want to hear a Blitz going in the dirt. I want to hear Blitz going like, you know what I'm saying? I want to hear how am I finna die tonight? Like, I don't want to hear about how I'm a bad teammate.
Copy. I hear you.
Like,
I
you
hear
feel
you.
what I'm saying? Like, I don't give a fuck how like aggressive you try to say that and all this movement and shit with it and conviction you trying to put with it. If you at the end of the day, when you hear it, it is the same shit.
Yeah.
You were a bad teammate. It's like you didn't support. You didn't say that after events. Okay. What else? Oh, that's it. All right. Oh, I did bad against JMO. Okay. What else? Oh, that's it, nigga. Oh, hell no. Like,
Yeah, I know you a troll. You funny. Okay. Well, shit. Well, last but not least, well, actually, real quick, one more question.
uh-huh.
We had one more battle that night, SMEAZY versus P.L.P. How do you feel about their battle? Any takes?
Um, I want to say that like they both like upgraded, like as far as like um I feel like it was just like like one of those like rank matches, you know what I'm saying? Like they really like went up levels on both ends, you know what I'm saying? Just respectfully, in my opinion, Smeezy, you know what I'm saying? I feel like he upgraded with his writing and what he was doing, you know what I'm saying? I would like to see him get out of that calm, cool, collective bag that he in when he do his rapping and
Hmm.
kind of like give us that you know what I'm saying? Like
Hmm. A
I
little more
want to see
aggression.
it
That's
all.
what. A
But
little
you're
more
right.
aggression.
But I feel like it takes that, you know what I'm saying, that right battle or that right person to like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, I gotta come with it. You know what I'm saying? P was nice from first time I heard him because I think he was like me, you know what I'm saying? I think he was freestyling because I think it was a fill-in battle or some shit like that. So I think in that first event he freestyled, but it was cool because you can kind of see where his mind was of how how like how I was clicking on his cylinders when he was coming up with stuff. So this one you can tell he wrote, you know what I'm saying? But the bars were there, and I think it was more shocking versus celebratory to hear what he was saying because it was like, wow, this is he doesn't look like a motherfucker that should be saying what he's saying in regards of how he's putting the elements of literature together. Like,
Hmm.
dude was good. Like, I was like, had me
Yeah, he
impressed
was
back.
passed out that night. That's definitely the best version of him that night for sure.
Yeah, I was like, yo, he's cooking. I was like, I'm really just sitting back like when Freak was told the crowd like, yo, y'all sleeping tonight. I was like, nah, they slept on P because P was up in this motherfucker, like for real, getting it in, for real. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo,
Mhm.
he is fighting for his fucking respect up here. Like, that's what I'm talking about. That's a dog fight right there. Like, you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? That's a dog right there. You don't nobody else see it. He might be a chihuahua. He's still a fucking dog. Like, you know what I'm saying? He barking on bro. Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? But that battle, it was a good battle. I'm gonna give it to Smeezy. On top of seeing Smeezy like get out that cool, calm, collective bag. Um, hey, bro, you got to stop running your rounds by your people. And I'm glad you got some good shit, you know what I'm saying, with the quotables and shit, but that be kind of fucking it up a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Because cheering don't win the fights, fighting do.
Yeah.
Remember that shit. You know what I'm saying? So, as much as your people plus other people, you know what I'm saying? Because I get it. It's a mental thing, right? Everybody don't take psychology, but we get it. It takes 2 to 3 people to acknowledge something, then all of a sudden it causes a shockwave for the others around you to be like, hey, let me react too. So now it seems like versus what it actually is.
Yeah.
That's why a lot of motherfuckers in battle rap culture be like, "Oh, just wait for the playback." That was his people in the background. Like, come on now, all you niggas know all them jingles back to back, off the cuff. Come on, bro. That shit 20, 30 years old. Nigga, like, come, let's be for real. But I
Yeah, man. You
respect
gotta.
it, you know what I'm saying? Because you gotta have that support with you too. You know what I'm saying? So that's good to come around with because now you might bump into somebody he might have that same element.
Correct.
I
Correct.
control the narrative, who like just like you can when it comes to the crowd. Because you know what I'm saying, I come 10, 15 deep. You come 10, 15 deep. Now we got now it's a real ah. So
Correct.
I'm
Correct.
not saying I don't respect it because I understand it. You know what I'm saying? But I just something to think about. You know what I'm saying? Just something
For
to think
sure.
about.
For sure. Hell yeah. All right. Well, shit. We only got a couple more seconds. Last words.